Hello, IG family. Auntie Patty Jackson is here, and this is a real special IG Live because Ralph Tresvant from New Edition is going to be joining me on the UMC channel, which you can get through Amazon Prime. There's a docu-series on his life, and Ralph tells his side of the story. Everybody come on in because I'm waiting for Ralph to join us. But he's going to tell his side of the story. I did the radio portion, and now we're doing this portion. When you think of the career of Ralph Tresvant, I love you too, guys. When you think about the career of a Ralph Tresvant, 40 years in the music business, and I'm going to tell you something, and I often always say it. It's a business, and you got to know the business aspect of what's happening. And he goes into it and he talks about his life, and he talks about in the docuseries how come after the BET miniseries that they never went on tour and to capitalize on it. He is joining us now. I'm hitting the button. Okay. Yeah. We're just waiting for Ralph Tresvant. You guys got to check out this docu-series, which is tonight. Hi, honey. How you doing?
Good looking, Patty. You looking great. Look
Oh,
at you.
thank you. You are looking good too. You sat down for this docu-series, the UMC channel, everybody, which you can get through Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
This docu-series, A Closer Look. You open up. You're telling your side of the story. How did it feel? Were you just a little nervous?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm telling my story, and when I'm telling my story, obviously a big portion of my story is New Edition. And it was nervous and a little bit, was a little nervous because you don't know how this stuff's gonna come off. I'm brutally honest when I talk, so that's why I'm pretty quiet to myself because you never know what's gonna come out my mouth when I start talking. But overall, I'm very private. So, the kind of questions I knew they were going to ask, they're going to be digging into a part of my life that I normally keep to myself and sacred and stuff like that. But I knew it was about time. I'm feeling like right now it's time to get out here and really just tell people who I am, because I've heard so many perspectives and different stories about who I am through other people's perspectives of me. So it's time for me to just give my own.
Are you going to tell us the part about being a sex symbol?
That's the part that I have to let somebody else talk about, because I never really felt like, I never felt like a sex symbol. I just felt like I was going to be good at what I did. I wanted to be good at what I do. Where I wanted to dress sharp like my uncles and my dad and all of men around me used to shop. I wanted to do all that stuff, but to be a sex symbol, that's something that I always let everybody else. That was their perspective of me.
Okay, I witnessed it. You were at the Dell Music Center when you came to Philadelphia. You and Ralph, right? You guys
Yeah.
came, and it was really incredible to watch these women respond to you and the screaming and the men. You drove these women wild.
Hey, I mean, that's a part of the game that I love. Growing when we first came into it, that's the part that I used to love. First thing we did when we move, or you grab a microphone, you can hear them, the girls screaming or yelling or chasing you. Oh, I love you, whatever. That's a part of it that just makes you want to continue doing it over and over again and getting better and better at it.
Wow, well, the women, they love you. I'm looking at the comments coming in. They call themselves the Riz Riders. They love you, and I know it must feel really good. Chocolate Divinity, she was in the middle of that because she was getting pictures for me. The women went wild. We just want you to know the women in this area, they're definitely loving you. In this docu-series, you say you tell your side of the story.
Yeah.
After the BET miniseries, which was a huge success, and it was all this renewed interest in love, how come you guys didn't go on tour with it and capitalize on that?
That was the point. I think one of the main things is that we were in the middle of negotiations of going out on tour and making a new run with New Edition, and right in the center of that, we just kind of fell off on who we thought would be promoting it, who should be behind the run that we were doing, as far as the touring aspect of it was concerned. Kind of fell through the cracks. BBD they did a run on their own, you know. So it was like I just kind of faded back to black, went back to being, you know, dad, regular dude. When we get it right, man, let me know. I'll be there for y'all. I'll be there ready to rock and roll when we get it together. But it was one of those things we all wanted to do, a new album. We wanted to capitalize off all the momentum, but we just couldn't see eye to eye on who should be a part of that with us.
Wow. Do you think you guys will ever get back together?
Oh
All
yeah,
the guys?
absolutely. That's definitely in the works now. Sooner than you think, more than likely, because
Wow. Okay, we're getting some scoop here. Here's a
yeah.
question I have. There's such a thing about who owns the name New Edition. Ralph, can you clear it up once and for all? Who owns the name New Edition?
New Edition owns the name.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been like that for a while now. We got that together a little while back. So New Edition owns New Edition. Me and Johnny secured the name New Edition because it was floating around. There was
Okay.
a time. There was a time that when we were putting together the heads of state that we were securing the trademark and the naming for that. And our lawyer came back and said, you know, New Edition is free. It's just floating around. And we found out then that New Edition never owned their own trademark. It was just something we never owned. We thought we did, but we never owned it. So Johnny and I secured it. It was a little bit of hoopla that went on when they found out, because we went on with the heads of state, never thought more about it, right? Because we
Yeah.
weren't really, that's what we were focused on and starting up. And no more than we thought about it prior to heads of state or after heads of state. We just went on about our business. And then it came up when we were doing the movie that me and Johnny was on, you know, had secured it. So, you know, but long story short, everybody owns the name. New Edition owns the name New Edition now. So,
Okay. Okay. Tell us about this project. You know, Johnny Gill, the song All Mine, which is out now.
yes, All Mine's my new single. Was actually a single that was supposed to be on Johnny's. Well, Johnny, it was submitted for Johnny, for him. He
Okay.
heard that sounds like me. He says, that sounds like my brother, man. So he sent it to me. I immediately understood what he was talking about. So we went in the lab, cut it at his house. I heard it a few days later with him on it. And it just sounded like that magic that comes together. When me and Johnny get on the song and it's done right, between
Mm-hmm.
his presence and my smooth, how I approach it, it just seems to bring these worlds together that work. So I heard that on there. We both heard it and said, that's my new single, man. That's the one we need to drop. And coming right behind a single that he was featured, I was featured on his single
Mm-hmm.
called, it just felt like, while that's working, let's keep it moving, man. Let's just reverse the roles on it. And this time I'll be the lead and you do the, you know, and it just worked out really good. So that's how that came about. Now we're in the studio, getting ready to finish up the next album. The song's doing so great. It's like we're in the studio now, about to start finishing up my next album. Johnny's about to